welcome to my channel, or welcome back. Today I'm gonna be doing a what I eat in a day, and I apologize in advance if I kind of have like a sick voice. I am super prone to like canker sores in my mouth, and sometimes I get them in my throat if I get like worn down and just tired. So I currently have that, so you just have to excuse that. But today I'm going to be showing you guys everything I eat in a day in a calorie deficit, and I have been eating around like 1850 to 1900 calories per day. So that's about the range of what I'm going to be eating. And I will say that the past couple of times that I did the calorie deficit videos, I wasn't being super consistent with it. Like, I would eat it in calorie deficit one day and then not for like 4 days, and then so I really wasn't seeing like any kind of progress or anything. But if you watched my most recent video where I did the 2-week review of the Move program by Natasha Ocean, then you saw that this is the first time in a while that I've been like consistent with it. So anyway, I'm gonna show you guys everything I eat today. Today's Saturday, and we actually slept in today, and usually I don't even sleep in on the weekends. But today we slept in, and then I just got out of bed, got ready, and it's 10:30 right now. Usually I would be eating breakfast around like 8:30 or 9, but today I'm going to be eating at 10:30. So I'll show you guys what I'm going to eat, and then also I'm going to make an iced coffee. We have an espresso machine, and we have just been absolutely loving it, making coffee every day, and it is so good. So I'm going to show you guys how we do that, and then also what I'm going to eat for breakfast. While Drew's getting the espresso ready, I'm going to get our cups and go ahead and put the sweetener and milk in them. So I like these cute glasses for mine. These little ones, and then Drew likes to use these because he likes his a little bit more milkier and sweeter. And we use this homemade vanilla syrup. It's super easy to make. This one's almost out, but I have some more. It's just 1 cup of sugar, 1 cup of water, and then I think 2 teaspoons of vanilla paste, or you could use vanilla extract. And you just heat it over the stove until the sugar is completely dissolved, and it's super good. So I like 2 tablespoons and Drew likes 3 tablespoons. So I'm gonna fill up our cups with ice and then do that. Okay, so breakfast is iced coffee and this Go Macro bar. These are so good. This is the peanut butter chocolate chip one, and I love these. I eat it almost every single day for breakfast. It has 11 grams of protein, and then it has 290 calories. And then the latte, as you could probably tell, I thought that I could put a cup of milk in there because I thought that's what I normally do. I usually don't measure it, but I thought it was about a cup, but it was a little bit less than a cup. So this is our calorie count for breakfast, 290, and then a little over 200. But this is with the 1 cup of milk, so it might be a little more, like 190, but we're just gonna keep it at that. And as far as protein, I'm not intentionally trying to eat like super high protein because honestly it's just too hard for me to do that without like having protein powder, and I just really don't like the taste of it. So I still kind of keep track and try to do at least 80 grams protein a day. That is 19 grams. I'm also going to show you guys the texture of the Go Macro bar real quick, because it is just so good. And I did that in one of my past videos, and I had a few people tell me like they wanted to try it just because of the way that the texture looks. So here's what the bar looks like, and it's super like bendy and chewy, almost like a little bit thicker than a brownie, like a cosmic brownie. And it's really good, and I feel like I don't taste like any kind of weird protein flavor. It really just tastes like peanut butter and the chocolate chips, and it's really, really good. They have these in so many different flavors. I haven't tried that many of their flavors, but my Walmart only carries a few different ones, so this is my favorite one out of the ones that they have. And I will say they're cheaper too if you buy them in Walmart versus on their website. So that's breakfast. I'm gonna get a little bit of computer editing done, and then I'll see you guys at lunch. Okay, it's a little bit later, and since I ate breakfast so late, and also the latte is pretty filling too along with the Go Macro bar, I am still not hungry, but I'm gonna go ahead and make lunch. So what I'm doing today, oh, by the way, it's 1:40, but what I'm doing today is I had some chicken that I was planning on making, or I just like need to go ahead and cook it because I already took it out of the freezer yesterday morning, and so it needs to be cooked today, but I didn't want to use it for dinner tonight because tonight we're gonna be doing like make your own pizzas. I've been making this recipe that's basically like Chick-fil-A copycat nuggets, and it's so easy and they turn out so freaking good, and they look exactly like Chick-fil-A's nuggets, which is crazy. So I figured I'll go ahead and just use all the chicken to make those, and then the ones that I don't eat for lunch I can eat for lunch tomorrow or the next day because they heat up really well in the air fryer. So I also thought it would be good just to show in this video because they are super good. They're low calorie, they're also high protein of course, and they are fried. Like I put them in oil to fry them, but they are so good. So I'm gonna show you guys how to do that. I'm gonna go ahead and get all of the ingredients together, and then I'll show you how I make them. The recipe I use is from dinnerthendessert.com, and these are the ingredients that it calls for. I don't use exactly what it calls for, like I don't have white pepper, I just use black pepper, and I always season the flour a lot more than what it calls for. And then I also don't use peanut oil, I use just like canola oil or vegetable oil from the store, whichever I have on hand. So that's what I'm gonna use, and I'm gonna go ahead and start cutting the chicken. And then also I'm going to do this meat tenderizer thing where you let the chicken sit for a little bit to, I don't even know really what it does. I didn't even know this was a thing, honestly, until I've made this like chicken tenders recipe last week. And it's also like fried chicken tenders, and they turn out so delicious. And it was like, I think baking powder and vinegar, and you just let your chicken sit in that, and then you like rinse it out and dry them off and then continue, and it made the chicken tenders so tender. So I'm gonna do that, but I'll show you guys everything in just a second. Okay, so what I did with the meat tenderizing stuff is I added just slightly more than what it called for because I have a little bit more chicken than what it called for. So I did a little over a teaspoon of this baking powder, and then I also did a little over 2 tablespoons of this white distilled vinegar, and then I'm just gonna leave it like this. I'm gonna put it in the fridge, leave it like this for maybe like 10 minutes or so. I'm gonna go ahead and prep the rest of everything else in the recipe, and then we'll finish with the chicken after it's ready. It calls for regular breadcrumbs, but this is all I have. I just use what I got, you know? I have 2 different types, great value of course. We're just gonna throw 3/4 cup of these into the food processor to get them a lot finer than they already are. We want them pretty fine, so about like that is good. I don't know if you can tell. That way they can stick better to the chicken. So this recipe calls for breadcrumbs, flour, powdered sugar, kosher salt, white pepper, and chili powder in a bowl, and then you whisk it together. I don't have any powdered sugar. I thought I had some. So like I said, we're just working with what we got. I know you can put white sugar in the food processor and then blend it up. Maybe I'll do that actually. I'm gonna try it since my breadcrumbs are already in there and see how it turns out, and we'll see, because I don't think it's very much powdered sugar. It's 2 tablespoons, but I'm not gonna do white pepper. Like I said, I'm gonna do black pepper, and I also am gonna add in, instead of kosher salt, I'm doing Calorie seasoned salt, and then also paprika, onion powder, and garlic powder, just to get my flour really seasoned well to get a nice flavor. So I'm gonna go ahead and try the powdered sugar, and I'll let you guys know how it turns out. All right, so we have our like flour and everything ready. I don't know if the sugar did good, but I can't see it like in the little, I can't see like the, what do you call it? The pieces of sugar. So I'm hoping that it's okay and that it'll turn out well. We'll see at the end, depending on how they taste. I'm gonna go ahead and rinse the chicken off to get the vinegar solution off of it, and then dry them off. And then we have to put them in a Ziploc bag with the eggs and milk to sit a little bit longer. And also you'll have to just excuse our sink. I haven't unloaded the dishwasher. I didn't want to do that until I was done cooking today, because then I want to load it fully. I'm gonna put this in the fridge for about 20 minutes while I clean up everything else. I had to put my hair back. I don't know how you guys feel, but when I am cooking, my hair just gets in the way. I couldn't find a ponytail holder, but thankfully I found one. It hasn't been quite 20 minutes. I didn't even time it, but I'm gonna go ahead and get the chicken out. And what we're gonna do is you just kind of get each piece and then completely cover it with your mixture. And then I have a little cutting board right here, and I'm just gonna set them out. And the trick here, or my tip here, and this is in the recipe, is to not put your chicken immediately into the oil, because it just needs to sit for a few minutes, maybe like 5 minutes or so, but by the time you're done with like dipping all of them, you can go ahead and start with the first ones you did, because it'll probably have been enough time by then. What I do to know if my oil is hot enough is you just take a little bit of your flour mixture and then you kind of do like that over top of the oil. If it kind of like starts frying, then it's good. If not, you need it a little bit hotter, and if it gets like burnt immediately, then it's too hot. Turn it down and wait a little bit. There's more specific instructions for like temperature wise in the recipe, so I'll link that below. But I'm gonna go ahead and start our chicken, and you're gonna see how crazy it is that it looks just like Chick-fil-A's nuggets. This is the first batch, and they literally look just like Chick-fil-A. It's crazy. Since I'm doing a lot of chicken, it's kind of taking a long time, and I'm getting hungry, so I'm gonna go ahead and eat. I've already measured out how many. I didn't even count, but I did like probably around a fifth of the nuggets, probably like 20 here. But I do like them pretty small. Like this is probably the biggest one, and this is the smallest one. I just like smaller pieces of chicken. I still have some frying back there. But I'm gonna go ahead and eat this while I'm cooking the rest. I'm gonna grab a Polynesian sauce as well. And this is around 450 calories plus the 110 from the Polynesian, which is about 560 for lunch, which leaves us with, let me see, 844 for the rest of the day. So I'm gonna eat this while I finish up the nuggets, and it's gonna be so, so good. Going to the gym at 5:30 on a Saturday, but hopefully nobody will be there. If you haven't watched my latest video, I'm doing Natasha Ocean's Move program. Today is full body plus skills. Since I ate kind of late and then Drew just ate, it's literally 5:30, we are still gonna do our pizzas, our homemade pizza, but it'll probably be later tonight, maybe like 8:30 or so. So I'll see you then when I eat again. Back from the gym, it's 7:30 now. I'm gonna go ahead and get the pizzas made and ready because I'm kind of hungry. I don't know if Drew's hungry yet, but I'm gonna go ahead and get that ready. So this is a TikTok recipe that I saved. It's Julie Media, Juleeho Media. It says easy pizza from scratch. So I'm gonna be using her recipe. Hopefully it turns out good. I put it on MyFitnessPal, and these are the nutrition facts for one pizza. I'm gonna add like a couple of extra seasonings in there that she didn't add, but I don't think it really changes the nutrition facts. So the first thing is to mix together half a cup of flour, 3/4 teaspoon baking powder, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, and I'm gonna also add in garlic powder. And then I'm gonna go ahead and tell you what the recipe is, and then I'm just gonna do it, and I'll link this TikTok below too. And then we mix 1/4 cup of water with a teaspoon of oil and add that in to make the dough. And then you sprinkle some flour, roll out your dough, put your pizza sauce on it, and then yeah, so put your cheese and your pepperonis and everything. I'm gonna be using just plain mozzarella cheese, which is like 80 calories per 1/4 cup, and I'm gonna do half of a cup of that. I'm gonna do 7 pepperonis, which is 130 calories, and then using this pizza sauce, Prego, 1/4 cup is 35 calories. So I'm gonna kind of just like measure it as I go and keep track of it, but I'll show you at the end if I change anything. This is mine, and that's for Drew. And I doubled his. Okay, I baked it at 400 for like 16 minutes and it looks really good. Drew's isn't done yet, so I'm letting his cook a little bit more, but I think mine's done. Here's what it looks like. And I added a little bit of basil on top just for a little bit more flavor. Looks really good, but obviously the only thing that matters is if it tastes good. Do a little taste test and see. I think it's really good for what it is. I think it's good. Definitely better than frozen pizza. Drew and I both agreed that it's average. We would both rate it a 5 out of 10. But honestly, like for how low calorie it is and also for just like the ease of it, like I already had all of the ingredients because I always make pizza bagels, which if you haven't watched my other What I Eat in a Days, that's one of my main lunch recipes that I use. But I already had all the ingredients and super easy. And then I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys that the last thing I'll eat today is an Oreo ball. I have it in a paper towel because it can get really sticky, but it's basically just you mix up Oreos and a little bit of cream cheese in the food processor and then roll them up into balls, put them in the freezer, melt some chocolate, and then take the balls out, dip them in chocolate, cover them in chocolate, and then put those back in the fridge. And they're so good, but they're pretty high in calories. They're 220 each. So let me pull up my total for today. Here's my total. I kind of like manipulated the Chick-fil-A ones to be the amount of calories that I know that it is around that amount because I didn't put like a recipe in here. And then this is the recipe that I made, and then the Oreo ball. So overall that's 1,828 calories for today. I will put all of the recipes that I used in the description box in case you guys want to try out any of them. But thank you so much for watching this video. I hope that it was helpful for you if you were doing a calorie deficit as well and that you got some ideas. Go ahead and like this video if you've enjoyed it and subscribe for more videos like this because I'm definitely going to be doing more. Honestly, just to like keep me consistent with my calorie deficit. Probably will do a week of eating in a calorie deficit next. So definitely subscribe to stick around for that. But thank you guys so much for watching. I'm so appreciative and I can't wait to see you guys next time. Bye.